Hello and welcome to Strange Talk with Doc. I hope that you're having a great day. And before we really get into anything, I want to clearly express to you that if you heard a pro Trump ad leading into this show, because I do not control the app ads that are placed by particular apps out there, I just want to let you know I do not condone, co sign, or agree with anything that is pro Trump. Now, the name of this show is that the clock is winding down, people. And you have a valid excuse, not your dog ate your homework kind of excuse for not having voted already or planning on going to the polls Tuesday, November the 3rd, to place your vote. This is very important. It's not a joke. Your voice must be heard. You need to be voting if you have not already. I say this, I've already voted. I believe I voted last Monday or so. My business is taken care of over here. Okay, so COVID, we got 9 million cases in America. 230,000 people have died here in America. 46 million people affected worldwide and 1.2 million deaths. These numbers are outrageous. We got some problems going on. We have some states right now that are breaking records for single day cases in the United States that have not been seen in months. 41 states have more COVID patients now than they had at the end of September, and they're spiking. It's actually increasing. Parts of Europe are deciding that they might go into another lockdown, like France. Spain, Italy have seen increases. Belgium, Czechoslovakia. These are the highest rates in Europe in months. We figured that we were going in the right direction. It seems like we're going backwards again. I cannot wait once again for November 3rd. This vote is important. It has to take place. I don't want no shenanigans. I don't care who. If the right person wins, fine. If the wrong person wins, we have to respect that too. But that says a lot about who America is, what America is about. I mean, they they swore in Amy Cohen Barrett this week, which gives them a 6-3 majority in the Supreme Court. We do not know what this lady's real game plan is. We don't even know if she's properly qualified or is she just going to be like Clarence Thomas and vote with Trump. Anything he says, no matter what. There's no right and wrong in Clarence Thomas. I'm hoping that Coney Barrett is a person who loves the law, the letter of the law, and not to manipulate it that it works for one side and one side only. I know there are other justices, and she is not the end all be all, but she is a part of the process. And if it's always going to go 6-3 conservative against anything that's out there, then that's not fair. That's not actually law. That's just majority rules. And that's a horrible thing. I mean, because we have madness going on right now. Five cities in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston are sending in National Guard because they are scared of what may happen during the election Tuesday. I mean, you have places like New York, Washington, Philadelphia, Rodeo Drive in Hollywood, Beverly Hills, by the way, they have boarded up their windows. And if they haven't boarded them, they will all be boarded up by Monday because people are very worried about this election. They're very worried about how Americans will react to the re-election. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. They are sitting back saying, how is the general public, how is Bob, Joe, Raekwon going to act come Wednesday morning or Tuesday night? Is he going to burn? Is he going to shoot? Is he going to loot? Is he going to be violent? Or will he be an adult about the situation? Because we all had the opportunity to get out and voice our opinion. And our opinion is pulling these levers. So I hope, I applaud you. Please do the right thing. Get out there, do what you need to do, because it's crazy. We got people like Donald Trump Jr., who's basically saying that the COVID deaths are nothing. Yet and still we breaking records. He says this, and 1,000 Americans die. 1,000 Americans die the day that he claims that the deaths are almost at nothing. Now, do they have a better grip on handling COVID-19? Yes, they do. Do they know how to better treat COVID-19? Yes, they do. But are the hospitals overran? Are the nervous nurses and doctors overworked? Yes, they are. The CDC is saying that we have to take it easy. Think about this. The CDC asked months ago to not allow evictions during COVID-19 to at least the end of the year. There have been 10,000 lawsuits placed in the courts to have people evicted. 10,000 eviction notices they want sent out. 10,000 eviction notices, I am going to estimate, is going to affect no less than 30,000 people. I'm just saying a home with one parent, two kids, or two parents, one kid. And in some cases, they're going to be more. So that 30 could be 45. This winter coming, and we're talking about people with no food, no electricity, no gas, and on the streets because our government has done nothing to supply the general public with funds, means, stimulus to help them through these times. And that's why you got to keep that in mind when you go to the polls. You have to keep that in mind. What did the government do to help you during your dark days? Have they been there at all during your dark days? And it's crazy. I mean, we're just in a bugged out time, man, and there's no way in shape or form around it. We had a young man, Walter Wallace, 27 years old. Cops come by because he's in a domestic dispute call. I guess he was aggravated or whatever. He runs out with a knife. They kill him. And so Philadelphia has been going crazy for the last 3 days over this, not thinking about right or wrong, just inciting violence because this is the time, this is the date, the fuse has been lit, and this is where we are today. The people in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, they came back this week that they are among some of the lowest credit ratings in the country. And on top of it, they had 815,000 people without electricity because Zeta came through there. The storm was a category 2 hurricane and it hit Wednesday and it caused a lot of damage. And I hope that the government does something to help them. Now, does that have anything to actually do with their credit scores being so low? No. It just shows you that the poverty rate in some of these states are very high. So when these people hurt, it's a double beating. Not only don't they have the ability to have credit to take care of themselves, but they're also dealing with national disaster on top of that. So my heart goes out to them, man. My heart really goes out to the people who suffer in those places. You know, it's crazy. So we got Lil Wayne. He gives a thumbs up to Trump. Now, this is a guy who I'm not going to buy. I don't get into gossip. I don't get into rumor. I do not know the man, and I do not know what's on his heart or really on his mind. But nothing about him says that he has been pro uh, prison or criminal reform. And for him to jump on the bandwagon to say that Trump's a good guy because he does something for criminal reform sounds ridiculous. This is another young black rapper at the 11th and a half hour, who's coming to Trump's defense and don't care one way or another how it makes them look, how they're viewed, what this does to their legacy. Little Wayne, I think this was a really horrible move on your part. You have never been socially conscious. Your music is not about being socially conscious. I never heard you go on programs and speak about anything socially conscious, and to pretend that Trump is a leader of some kind of socially conscious movement, because I do not believe for a second $500 billion are going to be funneled in this so called black community, where they're going to open up 3 million jobs and businesses for black people. When has America ever paid reparations to black people? This is almost like they're saying that this platinum plan is a form of reparations that are coming to black people. And nobody sent me a letter in the mail saying, you know what, Doc, you're going to be a part of this. because I can come up with a business that I want to run. It's $500 billion. I mean, it don't take but so much of my share to come fall down to me. I'll take my 40 acres and a mule, but it's not real and it's not coming. So we have Halloween today, and I hope that you be safe, that you be smart, that you use your mind, that you don't be out there with your kids trick or treating like normal, that you're not at these celebrations and parties, because adults seem to really, really, really enjoy Halloween these days. So, and I'm not telling you not to celebrate, just be safe and not just your costume mask, but make sure you still have your mask. Maybe you were bright enough to be able to incorporate your costume mask with a mask that actually stops the spread of COVID. And I'm hoping that happens. We also turn back those lights today. We have daylight savings time. When you wake up in the morning at 2 o'clock, I believe it goes back to 1 o'clock. So we actually gain an hour. I kind of hate daylight savings time because kids are out there on a normal year. They're at these school buses and it's pitch black. And I think that is something that the government should look in. We're not a farming country anymore. They should really look into this and say, you know what, we don't need to have women, children, older people waiting at bus stops around the nation in pitch black. And I think that's something that needs to be fixed, but I never hear anybody talk about that. And it's also the blood moon tonight. I mean, I don't really know what that affects, but it's the blood moon. So if it's something that you want to peek your head out and look, be more than happy to do so. I watch Fargo. I'm really enjoying Fargo. They actually pumped up the season a bit this last episode because if it's a gangster film, there's got to be violence, and it got a little bit more violent this week. SNL was very good with Adele. I enjoyed that. I did watch a movie by RZA called Cutthroat City. There was really no storyline. I guess I was hungry to see young black in the hood type movie, quote unquote. So I watched it, but I was highly disappointed. I thought that they tried to mix too many things in there. They tried to mix a little juice, which set it off, and other things. So I can't really give a thumbs up to Cutthroat City. Okay. The Eric Andre show, I did say that I would watch the episodes that I had. I had two episodes of the Eric Andre show. Eric Andre shows as bugged out as it ever was. If you've never seen it, expect it to be crazy because that's what it is. I mean, it's almost borderline on criminal. Some of the shit Eric Andre does on this show as far as messing with people's heads. This Is Us came back with a special two-parter for season 5. It was a very interesting show. It had a big twist that we did not see coming. At least I wasn't smart enough to see it coming. Uh, I can't wait for the rest of the season. The acting is always supreme and superior on this show, so I'm expecting it to remain so. Uh, what I will say is, I want to talk next week because they won't be on this week, but next week I will like to come up with a theory that I have of how this will play out with Randall, and that's all I'm going to leave it at. It has something to do with Randall. If I tell you any more, you'll be pissed if you haven't seen it, and I don't want you pissed at me for no particular reason. So I just wanted to say something really brief about the WWE. The WWE has Otis. He's a heavy set dude with a beard and a big belly. He loses his Money in the Bank briefcase to the Miz, who's a slimmer, I guess, better looking, more WWE fitting looking guy. And I think it's unfair to Otis. I think it's highly unfair that a person who's been there the whole time during the pandemic gets the rug pulled from under him because he doesn't quote unquote fit the stereotype of the face that they could put on Good Day America and shows like that. And I just wonder if nobody else is speaking out for Otis in this instance, I want to speak out for him. And they also had Sasha Banks win the women's championship, I believe, like the fourth time. And if they hold true to form, Sasha Banks wins the title, and within less than a month, they have taken it from her the other three previous times. I hope that the WWE gets it together in this situation and allow her to have a title run. Sasha Banks does have your stereotypical good looks to be a face of the WWE, even though she is not blonde nor a white woman, but she does have the looks. So I cannot see why they would not. And on top of it, she has the talent to see that she would run this place for a little while. Okay. Busta Rhymes came out with an album called Extension Level Event 2. He originally came out with Extension Level Event 1. I believe he said it on the album in 1998. So 2 was well in the making. This is a fantastic album, and if you have not heard it, I would recommend that you take the time and listen to this. You need to be able to listen to particular songs. I mean, sit and listen, especially a song like Satanic, which he is telling a story and he's talking about the industry and how there are a lot of artists in the industry that play on the Illuminati and the devil worship thing. And he called them out on it. And it's about time somebody in that industry called out the people who use these ritualistic videos and imagery to perpetuate evil. And the talent, you don't even see the talent. You don't even see videos anymore. The videos are all just 3 minute ritual ceremonies or takes on ritual ceremonies. And you kind of know who I'm getting at. And you cannot dispute me because you know you've seen it. You've seen it at the Grammys when they perform. You see it at BT Awards when they perform. You see it at American Music Awards when they perform. And it's always the same thing. A lot of visual evil kind of connotations out there which we don't need because kids' minds are easily influenced, and that's who's watching it. And these kids want to repeat what they see their heroes do. But on this album, I mean, he had a who's who of people help him out putting this album out. Kendrick Lamar. Actually, he had a soundbite from Michael Jackson, which I didn't even know that the Jackson family allowed that kind of thing because I haven't heard Michael on a lot of other people's stuff. He had MOP, Chris Rock, who spoke several times. Rakim came out. BDP, Bev Biv DeVoe. So that's not BDP. Farrakhan, Old Dirty Bastard, Q-Tip, Rick Ross, Anderson Pop, Vibes Cartel, Rhapsody, who sung a fantastic song with him. I mean, they both kicked it on this rap. It was a back and forth of a man and a woman, and they saying, I'm trying to do the best I can. And it seems like they're both talking about a child and how a relationship broke up and how things didn't go well. So that was very good. Mariah Carey sung on it, Mary J. Blige, and a young lady named Nikki Greer, who I'm not familiar with, but she hit it hard on this. This CD is well worth your time, your energy, your effort. Support Buster on this one. Brooklyn in the house. He tore it up. This is a classic album. Buster has once again proven, after all these years in the industry, that he is still a monster, that he is somebody to be reckoned with even today. And maybe this is a turning point with the rap artists who have released albums this year that have been solid rap albums or better than solid rap albums, like Nas, Eminem, Exhibit, to let these kids know that the trap shit's got to go. These people are not going quietly, and I appreciate that. Elvis Costello came out with an album, and I did say I would review it. It was called Hey Clock. This album was not for me. I like Elvis Costello a lot, but I did not like the flow of this album. I didn't get the vibe of this album. I never really felt any songs on this album. And that being said, Stan Smith came out with an album called Love Goals. This album is killer. Sam Smith made a killer album. I don't want to go into particulars of each and every song because I'll be have you here all day. But I really couldn't find anything on there that I did not like. His voice is on point. It was well worth my time. I think it would be well worth your time to enjoy it. Once again, that's Sam Smith Love Goals. The whole album, like I said, is killer. This week, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series over the Tampa Bay Rays, 4 games to 2. Justin Turner wound up becoming the biggest story, and it's unfortunate. Justin Turner, who knew he had COVID 19, stepped out on that field, came in contact with other players, and took his mask off. I understand that this was a time to celebrate a monumentous moment in his life. He worked probably hard as hell all his life to get to a dream. The dream is achieved, And then you have this disease that says, I am going to rob you of some of it. But we've all been robbed of some stuff because of COVID-19. There are families who had to put people in the ground. They could not go visit them in hospitals. There are babies being born that some people have still not been able to see the new member of their family. There are people who have not been able to go and visit the elderly in their family. We've had dinners that we've had to cancel, anniversary parties, weddings, you know the list. And Justin should have been adult enough. His wife should have been able to pull his collar and say, baby, I understand this. If we're going out on that field, we're going to be all the way out in center field and actually tell everybody to not come anywhere near us because there are a lot of bad things that came out about this story. That he bucked security, that he confronted security. I mean, and if this is not like armed MLB security, and this is just the stadium security, these are people making what, $20 an hour? They don't want to confront an angry, big professional athlete who's telling them that under no circumstances can you stop me. Plus, the person has COVID and they got to go home to their families. Not cool, man. Not cool at all. But congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, it's been since 1988. That is a long time to wait for a championship. But now they got two, right? They got the NBA and MLB. And it seems to go like that sometimes in sports. One town becomes title town for a couple of minutes. But hopefully that'll be New York next year with the Yankees. I'll keep waiting. I'll keep hope alive. The UFC has a fight card from Yaz Island, better known as Fight Island, tonight. Uriah Hall is taking on Anderson Silva, who I really would have wished would have stayed retired 2 or 3 years ago. But maybe he'll prove me wrong tonight and bring some fire. Uriah Hall is a seesaw also, up and down. I don't know what I get from him from time to time. Sometimes he's killer, sometimes he's not that good. So this should be an interesting fight. I wish this would have happened 3, 4 years ago when I think that they were closer to prime Anderson, Spider Silva, and closer to Uriah Hall's peak. Maurice Green is also fighting Greg Hardy. This should be an interesting one. I like Maurice Green from The Ultimate Fighter, even though he drank too much there. And Greg Hardy played in the NFL, so he's still at the beginning stages of his career. So we really don't know what we get from Greg Hardy from time to time. But it's like I said, this should be interesting. And then you have Bobby Green, who seems to be fighting like all the time inside Fight Island. He's going up against Tiago Moses. And that should be an interesting fight. And as far as I'm concerned, those are the three top battles from this card. So I don't know. And now we also have the NFL. It looks like somebody joined me in the room.
Good morning.
What's,
This is Bones.
hey, what's going on, man? Now you know you're
I'm
killing me,
good.
right? Hello?
Yes.
Now I'm gonna have to edit this show down all these hours, and I could have did this by myself, man. I did alert you.
Well, I'm getting out of that what you call it? Um wireless thing. That's that's some speakers on that's supposed to be noise cancellation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you see me or you see my picture?
I just see a picture.
Okay. But remember what I said, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
you, you came late. Now I got to spend 2 hours re-editing this.
Yeah, I had problems logging in.
Okay. Because now I'm at the end of the show. So how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just free.
Okay, now you're
It's
cutting off
23
also.
degrees.
Oh yeah, we're about 40 here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, yeah, it's about 40 degrees here.
Yeah, it's 23 degrees here.
Yeah, well, you know what? It is Halloween. It's almost November 1st, so that's pretty standard for the weather to be what it is. So you have anything on your mind in particular that you wanted to talk about?
Um, well, I guess my mind is what's on everybody else's, this election, and can't wait till Tuesday and what Wednesday brings before us the next day. I went to vote yesterday in the hood in Bed-Stuy at St. John's Recreation Center early, and there's a lot of people there, but I did get in. I was in there like 10 minutes in and out, but I went just right before they closed.
Yeah, I voted earlier this week myself. That's a done deal. I've been telling people over and over to please vote, that it's important, that I don't believe that there's any valid excuse that you would have other than being hospitalized, that you'd have not voted. We had early voting, and early voting has been going on for quite a while. It's not something that's just happened for 3 days. Early voting is now over. You must now, I believe, go to the polls on Tuesday. Everybody should be registered, and even people who think that for some reason that they couldn't vote because of prior. I'm getting feedback from you. Uh, because they had some kind of prior criminal act on their record. You have to check that. You should have checked that. That was your responsibility because there have been law changes in the United States of America that let people who had felonies actually vote today. So there is no excuse. You have no valid excuse for other than dead or in the hospital to not be voting. This is Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. We're in a flux. We're in a position where we don't even know where our country is heading. I mean, if Trump wins, the voice that comes back to me is going to be something else. If Trump loses, what do? We have Biden. So it's like I said, I don't know what is going on here. I don't like it. But so, like I said, no valid excuse, none whatsoever. If you needed to bum a ride, you had plenty opportunity. You had 2 weeks to get a ride from somebody on your block. If you Nobody is actually beating people up in mass at polls. I have not heard that. Maybe you've heard that, Bones, but I have not heard that. I have not heard people being shot at the polls. I've not heard of people being kidnapped at the polls. So there are no excuses. Will there be shenanigans Tuesday? Yeah, I believe there'll be shenanigans. Will people do stupid shit? Yes. But that's part of the thing that we have to think about come Wednesday. The reaction of what's going to happen afterwards is going to be something else. But, you know, we'll deal with that when it comes. We will deal with that when it comes. But you know what? We just need to get this over with. I can't wait till Wednesday. Can't wait to find out what it is because that side's going to scream or this side's going to scream. But there's going to be a lot of nonsense either way you look at it. But that's the day we live in. This is the times we live in. These are the most abnormal of times in my life. I mean, by far the most abnormal times in my life. We don't protect the people. Uh, we lie and say we're going to protect people from eviction. Now all these evictions are going to happen. They said that they're going to protect people from getting their lights, gas, and electricity turned off or water turned off, and we have now allowed that to start happening. And I understand money runs the show. I need money. I need money to live. I understand that. I understand that almost everything is a business. Shit, your church that you go to is a business. They got to keep light and gas on there. Hospital's a business, but it's just the reality of the situation. And the situation stinks. But I'm glad to hear that you voted.
Yes, sir.
Very glad to hear that you voted. I don't know why I'm feeding back. See, this is why I don't like to come here often. Exactly. I hate taping here. I don't usually tape here anymore. There's a reason that I moved on. And I explain it since you're right there. They started putting Trump ads in the beginning and the end of my show. So now I have to do this thing before I even start the show to let people know that I am not a Trump supporter. And just to let people out there who podcast know, you do have power. Do not ever let somebody take your power away. I wrote a letter to the service that I use. And I told him, I don't mind you running ads, but you're running political ads and it's not fair to me because it doesn't reflect what I do. And they took the political ads off and made them just silly ads, of whatever. It could be a product, even though I don't endorse that product. Unless you hear my name attached to the ad, I don't endorse it. but I have to start every show off by literally saying that I don't endorse the ad that you hear leading into the show, which is ridiculous. But at least they took off the political ads because it would make me a fraud. Could you imagine? Strange Talk with Doc for 3 years has been talking about Trump, and the ad that you hear before you hear my voice is a pro Trump ad? Wouldn't that make me sound like a fraud that I'm doing something for money? And I'm not doing anything for money. I don't gain a dime off of somebody say vote for Trump. At this particular point, I'm not going to say F Trump either because I don't want you to use that as an excuse to vote for him. I'm not trying to give anybody any excuses to vote for the man. But it's what, who, and how you vote is on you. I got nothing to do with that. So what else you got on your mind? Anything? This is horrible.
Oh, just I guess I'm like you with the sports team where you changed over to the Raiders. So I'm rolling with the Steelers and Kansas City. I'm a freelance guy now.
Hmm. Okay, well that's a weak move, but I'll have to play along with that one right there because Kansas City is the ship to get on. I mean that's the Queen Mary of football teams, and I'm not really rolling with. I actually went back. I had to reevaluate. I got to mute you for a second. This way I'm talking, I don't get feedback. I had to reevaluate my stance on the Cowboys. And they have to live with themselves. They are who they are. That does not reflect me because I'm a Cowboy fan. If they decide that they can't be socially active, or their owner can say and do what he wants, that's not on Doc. That's on them. I've been with the Star since '74, and I got to ride with the Star. You know what? I like the Raiders. I respect a lot of football teams, but I'm going to stick with my team. So, talking about football, let's get to it. Arizona, Houston, Jacksonville, and Washington are all on bye weeks this week. Thursday night, we had the Falcons beat the Panthers 25-17. That was a game that I didn't care anything about other than I like to see Bridgewater play and keep proving that he's a starting quarterback. Now we got the New York Jets, the 0-7 New York Jets are playing the 6-1 Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Who you got, Bones?
Kansas City, the Jets better be lucky they don't get massacred. Also, too, because their coach, I know they're gonna ride with him until the end of the year, but he's just a piece of trash. And
Yes,
Le'Veon Bell's gonna they probably feature Le'Veon Bell also.
yes, this is Le'Veon's revenge game. Uh, I got the Chiefs scoring no less than 44 points to the Jets, maybe 13. So just demolished. This is going to be actually, Kansas City might take mercy in the fourth quarter. We got the 2-4 Cam led Patriots are going into Buffalo to play the 5-2 Josh Allen led Bills. Who you got?
The Patriots. This game right here is pretty much a make or break deal for Cam. If he doesn't show up, he's going to the bench for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, until he works out whatever he got going on with himself, he just doesn't. I mean, I know he had the COVID, so maybe it's some remnants of that. But the media and the public is merciless. So if he doesn't get it together, I think he's finished.
I do not like the Patriots' chances, especially if Edelman doesn't play. They really have zero weapons. I think the Bills could just grind it out, and I like their defense. So I'm going to actually take the Bills at home. I think Cam has a better game with his feet, but I think that his problems with his arms have always been there. They will always be there. He's just not a big, accurate guy. He's been a bully his whole career, probably through public school, high school, and college, and that's how he plays. He runs the ball. He's never had to work on being like Aaron Rodgers. So, and then with no weapons, I don't think they have a chance. We got the 5-1 Titans. They're going to play the 1-5-1 Bengals. Who you like?
The Titans, even though the Bengals, they're going to score. The quarterback is good, Joe Burrow, but they don't have enough to pull out a win.
Yeah, I like the
And then
Titans also. Cannon Hill is much better than people gave him credit for. Brown is an outstanding wide receiver. The Titans have a good coach and a good defense. I think the Titans are quality football. We got the 3-3 Las Vegas Raiders. They're going into Cleveland to play those 5-2 Odell Beckham Jr. list Browns. Who you like?
The Raiders. I ain't sold on Baker Mayfield. He had a good. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield, so I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield. I think he's just
I'm
I.
gonna I'm going to agree with you. I like the Raiders in this game. I feel bad for OBJ. I think that his chances of the Hall of Fame are now long gone. There's too many injuries. The numbers don't match what a Hall of Fame career would be. It's just unfortunate that we watched one of the most special talents we've ever seen. A guy who I'm not a huge fan of because he's hurt me, being a Cowboy fan. I mean, think about his most famous play is against the Cowboys. So, and he just did some special stuff against the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. So he eats the Cowboys alive. But I root for him as a man to be able to get back on the field. But I'm not sold on Baker either. I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think Browns are a horrible 5-2 team. I don't believe any hype behind it. So I'm going to go with the Raiders. Now we got the 4-2 Indianapolis Colts. They are playing the 3-3 Detroit Lions in Detroit. Who you like?
I like the Colts. I think Detroit's a mess. And that guy, anybody who comes from the so-called Belichick tree gets a pass. And I'm rolling with Detroit and Jacoby
You mean Jacoby's
Colts.
playing is Rivers?
Yeah.
Rivers hurt?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Right. I forgot he's not. He's on the bench.
Yeah,
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 but I'm still going
Rivers.
with the Colts. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with old man Rivers in this game too. To me, one of the most disappointing teams in the whole NFL. The 1-5 Vikings are going to Green Bay to play the 5-1 Packers. Who you got?
I like Aaron Rodgers. The Vikings are a mess. That's just like you said. That's just disappointing. You know what's going on with that team.
Yeah, I don't like to give the man too much praise, but he's a very good football player, and I don't think that there's anything the Vikings can do to stop Devontae Adams and the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going with the Packers. The 4-2 Rams are playing the 3-3 Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa's very first game as an NFL starter. Who you like?
Wow, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to go with Miami. We'll see what Tua got in his arsenal.
You know what? That's not something that sounds outlandish. Miami plays hard. I give them that. They play very hard for Flores, who I thought was a bum as a coach, and obviously he isn't. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins at home also. Now here might be the game of the week. The Pittsburgh Steelers, 6-0 Pittsburgh Steelers, are going into Baltimore to play the 5-1 Ravens, who signed Dez Bryant to the practice squad. So you will not be seeing him this week. He has been signed to the practice squad for the Ravens. Who you like?
I like the Steelers. They'll figure out a way to contain Lamar Jackson, and they're hot. I like the Steelers. Low scoring
I,
game, but I like the Steelers.
I'm actually going to go with the Ravens at home in this one. Uh, I I think the defense is a wash. I think that the Ravens are just a better football team. Ben is dinky dunking to death, and I don't trust Connor. We got the
Hmm.
two we got the 2-4 Los Angeles Chargers are playing the 2-4 Denver Broncos in Denver. Who you got?
Definitely not the Broncos, especially with their quarterback carousel. Definitely not them.
Okay, I do like this kid Herbert. He's pretty good for the Chargers. And this is a game I could care about. So I'm just going to take the Broncos because they're home. But this is a game I don't even want to see 5 minutes of, to tell you the truth. And I love football. We got the 4-2 Saints. They're going into Chicago to play Obviously, the worst 5-1 team in football, the Chicago Bears. Who you got?
The Saints. This
Okay.
is 4-2. This like a make a break game for the Saints as well. So the Saints.
I actually like the Saints. I think the offense, Chicago can't match offense. So I'm going to go, unless they play lights out defense and Khalil Mack goes crazy, I got to go with the Saints on this one. We got the 3-3 San Francisco 49ers. They are going into Seattle to play the 5-1 Seattle Seahawks. Who you like?
Boy, that's gonna be an awesome game. Um, but I like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is having a special kind of year. He's always been overlooked years past, and I'm going with Russell Westbrook and the Seahawks.
Well, if it was Russell Westbrook and the Seahawks, I would find a way to get to Vegas and put all my money on the 49ers. Thank God it's Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. So,
Oh,
but if it was Russell Westbrook, man, I sell my cars, I sell my stock, and I bet on 49ers. But since it's Russell Wilson, I'll stick with the Seattle Seahawks. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to stay up late 3 nights in a row. One, because the Sunday night game is the Cowboys, who are 2-5, versus the Eagles, who are 2-4-1. Uh, I have to go. I have to. You know what? I'm abstaining because it hurts me too much to say what I feel. I
okay.
can't pick.
Well, I'm going with Philly. We don't even know who the Cowboys quarterback is going to be this week,
Well, I will
and
tell you exactly who it is. Ben DiNucci.
Jesus.
Ben DiNucci from James Madison University. Uh, Name the last time you heard of a starting quarterback in the NFL from James Madison University.
Wow.
But I have to stay up late because it's my team. And then I have to stay up late Monday night because the 5-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers play my wife's 1-6 New York Giants.
Oh my goodness. Take it easy on the wife that day.
I'm going with Brady in the Bucks because he's always angry at the Giants, and any chance he gets to get revenge against them, he's going to try to take.
Yeah, and that other guy is back for the Buccaneers also too. Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, JPP. He played last week, didn't
I don't know, but he gave an interview and he said he just want to beat the Giants, clean the Giants, and then he guess it was just a little uh tit for tat, but he just said he still got love for them, but he want to smash them.
he? Yeah, it makes sense. But you know what? That Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense has been smashing people lately. Dominic Sue is actually going into a time capsule. Okay, now when we do this again, we're gonna have to do something about the audio because this audio, I'm apologizing for people beforehand, it's gonna be horrible. My audio's been on point. This audio is bad. I don't know why I'm getting such feedback, but because you're on video and I'm on just mic.
Okay.
I mean this is horrible audio. And I don't know, it could be wind in the air, what have you. So I apologize to you people that had to listen to this, but I hope you stuck through it, you know. Bones, man, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, man. You have anything to add about anything? This is time and place.
Just one thing. The fight. Are you watching the fight tonight? The Davis fight?
Boxing, uh,
Boxing.
Javonta, or
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his. When it comes to fights, if I don't like the participants, I won't view it. I don't even care if it's free. He's not my type of human being. I I hope the Spanish guy teaches him a lesson.
Okay.
The last time I seen this young man, and this is not gossip or rumor because I don't do that. I seen him manhandling a woman, a dude who's a professionally trained world champion fighter, and I didn't dig that. And he was manhandling her pretty bad in public. And this was a black
Wow.
woman. There's enough of that shit going around. I don't need to see that. and he doesn't need to be a part of that. But Floyd don't straighten shit like that out at all. So what you gonna
Yeah,
do? I mean, so is this a pay-per-view fight? Is it a free fight?
yeah. It's a
What's the deal?
it's a pay-per-view fight.
Okay. Now I had the UFC tonight, and actually everybody on the UFC I kind of dig. So I'm a bigger UFC fan than I am a boxing fan right now, which is kind of shocking because of all the boxing that I did in my life. But I really don't respect the game like I used to. There's not a lot of guys to put my, like I could say I back this dude or I like this guy's style. That includes the heavyweights. I just have since UFC has blown up, I like mixed martial arts a lot more than I like boxing. If I had to do it all over again, I think I would have went mixed martial arts over boxing. I think you're more well-rounded as a fighter. Well, obviously
Right.
you're more well-rounded as a fighter. If you
Yeah.
can use your feet and your elbows as opposed to just your shoulders and your fists,
Right.
more weapons in your tool belt, the better, right?
Absolutely.
And you doing anything since I have you here? You doing anything for Halloween? How you handling Halloween?
Well, it's brutally cold today, and it's supposed to be that way. It's really cold. It's supposed to be that way tonight. And where we live at, we never haven't since we've been here 10 years. No kids have ever came to our house because of the where we're at. Um, So we normally would take the kids to a another community that really goes all out. But with this COVID thing going around, we're not going anywhere, and they're not going nowhere neither. So we'll be in the home. We're just waiting for a plumber to come for us because for some reason our boiler isn't working and it's cold in the house.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I had a boiler breakdown about 3 years ago, and this thing exploded where it leaked. I mean, like the floods. But they came in and put a brand new boiler, no remake, brand new. And boilers are not cheap, people. Trust me when I tell you, boilers are not cheap. But I'm glad to not have that problem today, especially since this might be the coldest day that we've had, I would say, in months. It's only like 46 here. And 46 is pretty cool for here this time of year, but I'll take it. So you stay safe, man. You stay bundled up until they get there. And you what? Stay on the plumber's ass, man. Make sure that he is moving at the pace he's supposed to. Don't take no 3 o'clock in the afternoon, him just showing up and then he tells you some jive like, I need a part. I'll be back Monday. No, don't survive the weekend without getting this done.
Oh, right, absolutely. Yeah.
Because they love saying that when they don't want to work. I forgot this one part I should have ordered. No, man, come prepared. Be a professional.
Yes. Right.
But I don't want no kids knocking on my door because one, I'm not prepared. Two, I don't give a rat's ass about Halloween, never did. And so I brought no candy, even though I have started prepping for Thanksgiving. We have already started to buy things that go to our Thanksgiving meal. I do not believe in waiting until last minute. You got to get that ham and you got to get that turkey as soon as possible because we don't know the effects of one, going back into re-lockdowns. Two, we don't know the effect of how people are going to act come Wednesday morning. Matter of fact, I have a doctor's appointment Friday. I think I'm moving it to the week after because I just I just don't know how people are going to react. Are people going to react stupid? And I believe that there will be some stupidity involved in the election results. And I'm not talking about the election itself. I'm talking about the general public reaction.
Yes. Yeah. They've already started Times Square, the Fifth Avenue, they've already boarded up the businesses.
Right. I talked about that earlier. They've started
Oh,
doing in Washington, Philadelphia, Rodeo Drive, because they have to. And this is the first thing about this. Have you ever had a time in your entire life where you heard people, because of the presidential election, boarding up businesses? No, you
never.
haven't.
Yeah, never.
We've always conducted ourselves as decent people when it came to the election. We respected the results. But some side or another is going to lose their marbles. And you don't want to be in a crossfire. I mean,
No.
think about this. I forgot to say this earlier, and I have to mention this. Walmart is so terrified of the election results that they have pulled all their ammo off the shelves. Pulled their ammo off the shelves because they're fearful that people will overreact, run out, and buy all these bullets. Do you know, I'm almost willing to bet, and I can't say this is a guarantee, most gun owners got more ammo than they need already because it's something you buy. I could open this drawer that's sitting right next to me right now, and I got stuff sitting in boxes that I hope I never use in my entire life. But that's just the way it is. So, maybe some newbies don't got no bullets, but normal people who got guns, they got bullets.
Right.
But, you know, that's just the way. I mean, what's the purpose of having a weapon if you ain't got no damn bullets?
Right.
So Walmart is, maybe it's an overreaction, maybe it's not. Because Virginia just told me, I'm still waiting for my license to come from Virginia. The more licenses you have, everybody's not in your position, Bones. The more licenses you have, the broader the spectrum in America gets to you. And Virginia said that they got a 6 month waiting list, even though they processed my papers. So I'm still like 2 months out from actually getting my Virginia to add to my North Carolina, which would be great because that gives me extra states. Believe it or not,
Right.
my brother's state or sister state, which you would say South Carolina, they don't respect North Carolinas, but they'll respect Virginia's. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
They'll respect
Yeah, that is.
Virginia, but they don't respect North Carolinas. And then Florida doesn't respect North Carolinas, but they respect Virginia. So as you see, different ones, reciprocity is the word.
Right.
Reciprocity works different for different licenses. But that's just the way that goes. Man, I see a little bit of tears running from your eyes, so I could tell you call and you can't turn on the call, or it'll be worse. I wouldn't be able to hear you. Man, I appreciate you calling in, Bones. It's been a while. It's good to
Yes,
see that
sir.
you look good. You look healthy. Gray
Thank you,
as
sir.
hell, but you don't look worse for wear. Some people are looking worse for wear. We all got gray during COVID. If there's
Oh
anything that
yeah,
we happened, everybody's grays came out.
yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
grays popped.
Yeah. Also, too, I couldn't see when I started going gray. I couldn't see doing the just for men and the colors.
Well, it would look bizarre anyway. So
Right. Yeah,
it's
that too.
best. It's
Like
best
Michael
that you
Irvin.
pass on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, I want you to take care. I want your family to stay safe. I want you to not have any struggles whatsoever, financially, emotionally, physically. I want your life to be as beautiful as it possibly can. I think that you're a good, decent dude. And that's the highest compliment that I can actually give a person. I think you're a good,
Thank you.
decent dude, man. And I appreciate what you do personally. I know a little of your story, and I do appreciate that. I think that more love in the world is a beautiful thing. The more that people could spread it, it's an example. Continue being that example, and may God bless you for doing what you do, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. It came from the heart. I wouldn't say it. I don't have that built in me to say shit just to say it. You know, I wish I did. I think life would have been easier for me if I was able to just say things just to say them. Because I get blamed for being mean, and I don't think that I really am. But people have always thought that I was mean since I was a kid, and it's not. I think it's because I'm real or serious. You know, and so when you run into people who are serious most of the time, they get misinterpreted as standoffish. They get misinterpreted as angry. And I'm not angry at all, man. My life is good. I consider myself blessed. I eat every
Right.
day. I have more than I need. If I want something, I'm always able to get it. So I'm not angry. I let people
Right.
judge me.
Right.
That's not on me anymore. That's on them. But I'm gonna tell everybody out there, like I tell you each and every time, I wish you well also. Just as I wish Bones, I wish the same for you and your family. I wish you green lights, I wish you peace, I wish you joy, and I wish you overabundance. And I'm gonna tell you like I tell you each and every time, Bones to you and to the people listening, I'm gonna say peace to you and peace to yours. Bro, be easy, my man.
Yes, sir.